Good day to you. My name is Maria Kondzielska and this is Poland Daily Culture. And my question is, do you own your own apartment and are you planning to own it or only to rent? Because to all of those questions today will answer Craig Smith, who is with us, again, a publisher of Europa Property. Craig, thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you for having me on the show. Yes, and always happy to talk about real estate.
Well, you are an American traveling here in Europe, traveling between countries, but staying a lot in Poland and observing what's going on the market of properties, buildings, developers, all of those. So you're very well informed. And looking at this perspective, we know that our current government is trying to put the emphasis to more security, stability, and trying to give to young people their own apartments, and trying also to build some residentials which are owned by the government. So many projects basically to give to young people their own apartments. In residentials. What do you think about it? Looking also at the perspective of different countries surrounding us, and is it going to be right now? Very soon we're so for the first apartment, if you didn't own anything before, you'll be able to take a loan for only 2% and use it for buying an apartment.
Right. Well, I mean, for the government, it's a very good strategy for creating voters and keeping the voters happy by giving them a discount on loans. Of course, probably everyone on the planet understands that interest rates have really gone up quite a lot, and for people that are, let's say, in a normal situation, normally paying their mortgage or that have a mortgage, some of the payments have went up double or triple in just the last couple of years. So I think with this, we were talking about PRS, or this residential for rent, and I think a lot of people won't have a choice. Maybe they'll have bought something, but now it's just become too expensive, or with either the rents, their mortgages going up, but also with the interest rates going up, what we're finding is it's not just that people can't make their mortgage payments, because usually they buy a new house and they realize, wow, they don't like this terrible car they've been driving around, so they need to buy a new car to be in front of the new house or apartment. And then, when they get all their old furniture in there, they realize, wow, we better get some new furniture. So it's really the payments not only on the house, but it's also our apartment, but it's the payments on the car have gone up, on the furniture has gone up. They need a new TV because it's a new house. So it's a lot of payment. In every situation, their payments have gone up, and of course their costs, fuel and running the household. So I think a lot of people just don't want this stress and are now going to more the residential for rent situation, which is a good idea, or maybe just the only idea, and they can still rent something nice and, let's say, live comfortably.
Yeah, for looking especially right now in the situation when a lot of things are not very stable. First with pandemic, and secondly with the ongoing war with Ukraine, which still haven't stopped. When you're thinking about, when you owned previously an apartment in Kiev, you might not own it anymore.
Right. Yes, it might be or difficult to sell if you want to, or you may not want to live in it. And in a lot of cases, as we've seen in Warsaw, not only, but there's a lot of Ukrainians living here, and clearly they had money and they had good lives in Kiev or wherever they lived. So they've let's say if they haven't lost the money on their apartments, it's very hard to access at the moment. So renting is an option, and I think it's becoming more and more of an option in not only in Poland but also here. And when I talk to big developers in some of the other countries like Czech and in Hungary as well, they just said, look, none of the apartments that they're building are selling at the moment. 6 months ago they were. Now they just stopped. So it may not be in the official numbers yet, but the sales have really come down. Prices have stayed about the same, but I think it's just that people don't have the money or aren't sure if it's really the time to be buying. And they're looking at interest rates.
Well, the question is, of course, how will it in the future looks like the whole city owned by only big companies, which is also the question of security of the state in the long run. But I think we could answer all of this in the next episode. And of course, to all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily, if you are interested in what's going on in apartment and real estate in the Europe, then Rappa Property and Craig Smith is a perfect source to know everything. And stay with us for another episode because we're continuing this discussion.